We from the 90s, dude. Freshest podcast out. We on the grind for you. Stuck on your head all day. Gorilla glue. They think they really gon' out me. Pull up with the big tech. Call it Silicon Valley. Made it through a dark winter. It was getting so cloudy. Now we got the sickest show in the whole county. It's a cold world. Better bundle up. Gotta get the shovel when the truck is stuck. In the middle of a blizzard still coming up. Tuning in just so I know what is up. It's the Cloud Chronicles.
What is up, world? We are live. We are back. This is another episode of the Cloud Chronicles. I'm your host, Jerry Blaze. Thank you for joining me, and to the people watching later, thank you for checking out. Always like, share, subscribe. Check it out. I got a super special, super dope guest. She's talented. She's hilarious. She's so funny. So without further ado, welcome to Lovely the Talented. She's an actress. She's a comedian. Let me give out a little role about stuff she did. She goes by her rap name. His little headband. She's seen her on Zoom with the Homies. She's on comedy bars. She's been on Kev on Stage app. If you have that, download that. She's been on skits on there. This comedy tour. You've seen her on there recently. She's been on Wording is Hard, and she's been on These Hoes podcast. Welcome to the show.
Keysha E. What's up? Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I had to get you in with the
man, I'm good. No complaints. How you doing?
Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for joining. I know you're super busy and everything. You probably got movies and stuff you got to shoot here later in the afternoon, so we're gonna get it in.
So super slow motion. Like I was telling you because that's why I couldn't do it last week. I had a surgery, so I'm just like chilling, recovering. But
oh yeah, everything go good. You good? You ready? You recovered?
Yeah, everything was good.
Good.
Last week when we were supposed to do it, they had me on drugs. Oh, I shouldn't say that on here, but the pain meds, like I was just super sleepy and like drowsy. That's why I was like, let's do it this week. But yeah, I'm just relaxing.
Yeah. I feel you. It's hard to do it when you don't have no energy.
Yeah. It's like
So for the few people who don't know who you are, tell me a little bit about your comedy background first, and then the acting, which I didn't know a lot about.
You know what's funny is I actually started acting first. I moved to LA for acting, and comedy just happened. It was literally a dare. I was at a comedy show, and they had an amateur night they were doing, and one of my friends dared me to do it, and I was like, whatever. And then it just continued on from there. So I think it's been about 4 years now, I want to say. I've been doing comedy. Just started like clubs in LA, going around, Laugh Factory, Chocolate Sundays, Comedy Store. I would do Crack 'em Up Thursdays, the Union, J. Anthony Brown spot, the J spot. So different spots around LA. And actually a lot of the acting opportunities I got came from comedy. So I had a part in Tyler Perry's last Netflix film, A Fall from Grace. And that came from me doing comedy at the Tom Joyner cruise. I was on a cruise and Tyler Perry got on a cruise to see Anita Baker sing for like one day. Like that's when you got money, when you just like, I'm gonna fly in.
Yeah.
See her hop up.
Like I'm gonna have a private jet ski pull me up on the side. They gonna lower the golden rope, pull me up. Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm trying to get money like that.
Yeah, exactly.
So just opportunities from that, from people seeing you on stage. Like a lot of the auditions that I've gotten have come from people seeing me do comedy. Like for Insecure, I auditioned for them, and so it's just been a journey. And then lately I've been doing the Keep Your Distance comedy, which is super dope because it's live stream, so like so many people get a chance to see it. Right. And then kind of doing my own stuff. I've been writing. I do have the show on Kev on Stage app, Black Card Off Lil Way. And then writing my own, so
So I want to ask you, how was that doing that with Tyler Perry?
It was dope. Like it was the whole experience from like the time they picked me up to.
Oh, you got picked up.
Oh yeah, I was like, oh, you report truck. Okay. To the first class flight. I ain't even gonna lie. I was like, bro, you could put me on Southwest and put that in my check. Like,
right.
My itinerary had the price of the flight on there. I'm like, bro, I'm going to Atlanta. Like, But that's how he is. Like he takes care of, he takes care of his people. So the accommodations was amazing. Being on set, like being at his studio was crazy. Just seeing so many Black people, like it was just amazing. Like hair and makeup, my face matched my neck. Cause when you don't get that all the time in LA. Like
I noticed that too on film all the time. I'd be like, ooh, the tone is it's about 3 apart.
Yeah, so it was dope. And he moves quick, but it was great. And then just the connections, like they've hit me up for pretty much every project they've had since then, like their shows and stuff. So I'm like, I know they want to work with me again. It's just, a matter of time or the right role, but that was definitely dope. So it was a good time.
That's what's up. So what have you been writing on? I didn't know you was writing too. I'm not surprised to hear it though, but at all. So what have you been writing on?
I'm actually writing my own series now. So,
okay. So you can't talk about it too much.
Well, not exactly. I mean, it ain't no NDA, but
yeah, okay.
I'm hoping to start getting it filmed this year. I've been working on it. I've been picking it up and putting it down for a minute because I'm not really a writer. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I wanted to tell this story. So I've been like working on it. And then I have a couple friends who are writers, who are actual writers on TV shows. And I've like had them check out a couple episodes. They gave me some notes, doing some rewrites. So we'll see. I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing with it, where it's going to go, but I'm excited.
Okay.
Okay,
when we get off camera, I'm going to have to show you I'm going to pitch you my show idea. Okay. I don't want to say it live because niggas take your shit real quick. So, but I am going to tell you about it though. That's cool. That's cool. So, I saw you finally saw The Color Purple. And you was catching hell about that on everything I saw you on. They were giving you the business about that. So tell me about that. Did you just finally like, I'm tired of everybody hearing about it, or did you finally get paid to sit and watch it?
No, because here's the thing. I did. Here's the thing.
I did.
This is why I did it. Okay.
I knew it.
I could have gone the rest of my life and never seen that movie. I really want those 2.5, 3 hours of my life back. Okay.
It's a long one.
It's like 3 days to finish that movie. So here's the thing about me. I haven't seen a lot of Black movies like from the 90s or whatever. Color Purple, I don't know. That's like the 70s. I don't know. So everybody's always on my head about it. Like, you don't have your Black card. You ain't seen this. You ain't seen that. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna sit down and start watching these movies. Slowly but surely, I was trying to like watch them, and I started watching Poetic Justice. And I said I was gonna do it like maybe once a week just on Instagram. Didn't really think much of it. Like, I'm gonna watch these movies and just give my thoughts on it. So I did Poetic Justice, and I gave my thoughts on it. And the next day, Kev hit me like, "Yo, this is a show. Let's do this." So I was like, "All right." We talked about it. So basically, I watched Color Purple because obviously that was like the must see on my list of. The show that I do is 2 parts. One is like my movie reviews, and the other is like things Black people should know how to do, basically. Okay. So I was forced to watch 8 movies in 1 week. Oh. Including Color Purple and Purple Rain, Baby Boy. I'm not gonna do it.
I can relate to you. I do a show with my homeboys, the Real Boys, and we do a movie review show, and it's like once or twice a week, depending on if we do special episodes. But you got to kind of, it's the same thing. You got to watch what is on the schedule for that week. I can't imagine doing 8 in 1 week.
It was rough. And it's hard to watch movies that are set like 10, 20 years ago because just the quality of it is so different. Like it was hard, but so I've seen it now.
So how was I saw you on Comedy Bars. That was hilarious, by the way. That's why I had a little headband. Little headband was on there spitting bars, spitting that hot fire. So how was that? How was that doing that? That's a fun show. It seems like.
That was dope. First of all, shout out to All Deaf Women. Super dope channel. If y'all haven't subscribed, already subscribe, or go ahead and subscribe to their YouTube. Follow them on Instagram. Just highlighting women in comedy because women are funny too. So anytime they hit me to do anything, I'm always down. So Cynthia hit me about it, and she sent me a clip, so I watched one of them, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm down. So it was fun. It's comedic. It's like off the top of your head. And it's one of those things where I'm not a rapper. Like, I know that that's not my thing. So it's cool. It's not a whole lot of pressure of being like, your bar's got to be this. It's a fun thing. So,
that was the first episode I saw was you and
me and Meg.
Yeah. it was good. I was like, oh yeah, this gonna be a funny little show right here. Y'all both. Yeah, I was just gonna say y'all both had very good bars.
Oh, thank you.
Y'all hit it.
My mixtape might drop this summer. Watch out for it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Little headband on these hoes. You know That's what's up. Okay, so I wanted to talk to you about the infamous Keysha E Pose. Yep, there it is, the elbow. For those that don't know, the infamous Keysha E Pose is the elbow behind the head. I mean, I watch all the all deaf stuff, so I can't not hear about it because everybody, they get on you about it. And even what was the thing you did with
Kev and
here? Oh man, they was on you. They was on you.
Oh gosh. First of all, I was bamboozled. I did not know.
Yeah. Hey. So yeah, tell the people about the pose.
Man, that was the funniest episode. So I didn't even realize I did this. This is what's crazy. Kevin's in here was like, yo, we got the show idea. We go through your social media. We pull out these like supposed to be like bad pictures, and you got to explain like whether it's like the clothes you had on or your hairstyle or whatever. I had no idea. When I tell you, I didn't even realize that I did that pose all the time. Mm-hmm. So as they're slapping down the pictures, I'm like, oh my God. Oh shit. And now I'm so conscious of it. Every time I take a picture, now it's like, I realize it and I'll be like, man, fuck that. I'm still doing my pose.
Yeah. It's a brand now.
Apparently, when I pose for pictures, it's always a here or it's a there or it's this.
Yeah.
I'm not a model, so I do what works. That's what I got. I got an elbow for y'all. Y'all gonna get this elbow. Every pose. There was a lot of women that stood with me,
Yeah. I like it. I just think it's funny because I saw a thing that where they were talking about men don't know what to do with their hands.
Right.
And I didn't think about it. I was like, we be. Don't know what to do, and we'll do this. So
don't be mad because I found out what to do with my hands.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, so I can't let you out of here without talking to you about this too. I saw this morning. You were on it was on the Kev on Stage app. Shout out to Kev on Stage app again. Y'all download that. You and Kev being instructed on how to dance.
That's one of the episodes from my show.
Okay, cool. Okay, so I'm glad I brought it up then. So yeah, you want to talk about that?
So the show is called Black Card Off Low. Check it out if y'all haven't. Mm-hmm. 2 parts. One is me reviewing these movies that I apparently should have saw in my childhood and I didn't. And the other part is things that Black people should know how to do. So like we had an episode about playing dominoes, playing spades, shouting in church, frying chicken, like all these things that as a Black person you should know how to do. And I feel like we don't give people an opportunity to learn. We just like, oh, you don't know how to play dominoes? No, I don't. Teach me, right? So one of them was dancing. And we had Young BBQ as our instructor.
It was funny. It was really funny.
It was painful. It was very painful. Here's the thing. I'm a Black girl named Keysha from Motown with no rhythm. So this is why you can't make assumptions. People just like to assume stuff. No, I don't dance. I can't. So she came in. The episode is probably like 25, 30 minutes. And she's trying to teach us the Nene, the Dougie, a couple other dances. And it is painful. It is like anxiety kicks in if I have to dance. Like if I'm at a party and people come to me like, oh my God, I don't know, I can't. So yeah, it's me and Kev, and it's quite entertaining.
Yes. The praise dancing one was my favorite. So one of my favorites so far too. That was hilarious. Yeah,
that one was fun too. So yeah, just because you can find comedy in anything, So even in that, and people joking with me and teasing me about the Black things that I should know how to do or the movies that I haven't seen, it's like there's still comedy. There's funny within that. That we can make it enjoyable, and even a lot of people comment like it's nostalgic for them to go back down memory lane watching my reviews, because some movies they may not have seen since they were kids, or some movies it's like, oh, I didn't think about it like that because I was 12 when I watched it. So it's a good.
You shouldn't feel bad because a lot of the movies on that list I was forced to watch. I watched Mississippi Burning at church, Root at church. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot you were just forced to watch. We wasn't making a lot of them.
People tell me why they're classics. People are like, oh, it's classic. Why? It just is. Like, no, this movie was
because our mamas made us watch it. And then it
was something that was go. Like Coming to America, I was like, okay, I wish I would have saw this.
Yeah. Come to America. That's a good one. That's definitely a good one.
Very funny movie.
Yeah. So you said that you moved to LA. So did you get to do any comedy in Detroit?
No, no, I didn't start doing. I moved to LA. I've been in LA 10 years now. And I moved for acting, and I didn't start doing comedy until I think it's been 4 years now that I've been doing comedy. So that I never did comedy. I've done shows in Detroit since I became a comedian, but I never started off in Detroit.
How is the the comedy scene in Detroit as opposed to LA?
I'm not too well versed in it, so I don't. I can only touch on it a little bit because I didn't come up. I think like coming up in comedy, wherever you come up in comedy, you kind of get a better idea. Like the grind. I feel like it's obviously more comedy clubs in LA. It's more rooms in LA. So every night is some place that you could go and hit a show or hit an open mic, or you can constantly be working. Versus in Detroit, it's not as many shows, and a lot of times it'll be shows like right now. There's a show going on downtown. But there is no going to that show and being like, hey, let me get some time. That show is like, these comedians are booked and flown in for this show, and that's that. Whereas in LA, you can pop up at the, the Laugh Factory or the Comedy Store, wherever, like, hey, can I get up? So I think that's a little different. I don't know a lot of the Detroit comedians that I know, I met in LA. So, because I wasn't on that scene coming up, I don't really know how it is as far as like competitiveness or as far as like, I don't really know a lot, about that. But it's not, comedy isn't as heavy in Detroit as it is in LA. Okay. So it's not, LA, New York is kind of like, those are like the spots, where comedy is like lives. But but there's some places here, and there's some comedians I've met, and I've done a couple shows since I've been doing comedy. And I love doing shows here in Detroit because it's just a different kind of love. Like it's a different kind of energy. It's a different kind of like support, and just a different feeling to be at home doing it.
Well, so I was going to ask you. So tell me about your first show in Detroit. Now you moved to LA. You got your chops. You got your routine. You know what I'm saying? I'm somebody. I'll come home. I'm somebody. And so tell me about that first show in Detroit. How was that? How was that first time?
My first show in Detroit was really dope because I produced it myself. I had been trying to get on at shows here. And it's also a thing of like people knowing you. So because I didn't start doing comedy in Detroit, the clubs that we do have here is like, who's that kind of thing. So I was like, I'm gonna do my own show. So I rented a space and did 2 shows, Friday and Saturday show. It was super dope because the show sold out quick. Like people that I went to high school with, because people in high school would always be like, y'all knew you was gonna be a comedian. I'm like, what? That was never part of the plan. But people, so they were excited to see me do comedy, and then they see me post when I got shows in LA, but they can't see those shows. So it was like, oh, she got a show, we there. So the shows was like sold out. It was packed. Had a couple comedians from Detroit that did the show. So that was dope. It was a good turnout. And then I ended up coming back and I called it Keys to the City. And then I ended up coming back and doing a part 2. That was in like June or July of 2019, I think. Pandemic got my years off. 2019.
Yeah. Pandemic messed everybody timing up.
And then I came back, and then this time Punchline Comedy Club, which is one of our big comedy clubs here, that I ended up doing my show there. So that was dope. It was like Thanksgiving, the day before Thanksgiving, I want to say. And it was sold out again. So it was dope. Like I look forward to doing more shows here.
Were you more nervous your very first set in LA, just your very first time on stage doing comedy, or were you more nervous doing comedy at home? Which one? I gotta say at home. I didn't feel nervous like that, but if I gotta between the two, I gotta say at home, because the first time I did comedy, I wasn't nervous at all because I didn't care. Like it was not. It was there. So like when if your dream is to be a comedian and it's your first time, you're probably nervous because you really want to be funny. You want this to work. You want people to laugh. I don't give a. This is a dare. If you dare me to do something where I don't get pregnant or die, it's like whatever. Why not? Right. So, pregnant or die.
So like the pressure wasn't on, and I think that helped because once I did that first show and then I started continuing to do comedy, it was like, well, it's nothing to be nervous about now because you already did. You already did the show. Yeah. So I would probably say of the two, I'd have to say Coming Home, which I still wasn't like nervous, but it was more of like for one, I produced the show myself. So I'm like still last minute trying to get some things together, making sure all the comedians are good and got what they need. And then I would say any nerves I had was more so like my aunts and uncles. Mm-hmm. Like I'm still the soup. Like even though I'm grown, like I don't cuss in front of them. I'm not that.
Yeah.
Like auntie. So I was like, they about to hear these jokes.
yeah, it's a little weird.
Yeah, mama and daddy. It was like, my daddy's like, I don't like all that cussing you do in your comedy. I'm like, I don't come to your job until you got to work. So
yeah. Well, I just had to say you better have sent Pops the edited, the bleeped out version. Right. I guess. So I got one more question before I let you go. Tell me who you looked up to, like who were your acting and like comedy, like or your OGs or whatever, who kind of like helped you come up, kind of took you under your wing, you know, gave you the game a little bit, so to speak.
Acting wise, I definitely got to say Tasha Smith. When I first got to LA, I took her acting class, and she was like a big sister to me. Like she definitely put me on, you know, taught me the ins and outs. She even coached me for free. Like when I first got there and I was taking classes, and then I was like, hey, I got to try and find my place and get settled. And I was like, I couldn't really afford class at the time, but I wouldn't say. Mm-hmm. And she hit me like, yo, you're in class. And I'm like, oh yeah. And she was, as we ended the conversation, we got talking about something else. She's like, I'll see you on Tuesday. And I was like, oh no, I'll probably be back in like a month or two. She's like, I'll see you Tuesday. And I'm like, and then she just went like, if it's a financial issue, don't worry about it. And I was like, oh my God.
That's dope.
So yeah, I definitely say Tasha. Comedy wise, I would say Tony Rock. That's my homie.
He's funny. He's really funny.
Yeah, Tony is very good and very much about the business and understands the business side of it, because that's another part that I didn't really realize or understand how important that was. Mm-hmm. So and he and I was cool before I started doing comedy. So once I started, he like any questions I got, I can hit him up, or you know, he's always like, "Yo, I'm up here on Tuesday. Fall through. I put you on." You know, he's put me up on stage. I'll come through. Grady from Chicago definitely looks out again. Sometimes it's hard to get on like Laugh Factory on Sundays, Chocolate Sundays.
Right.
Their calendar is booked probably to 2022, the middle of 2023 already, 2022 or something. So as a new comedian, if the booker hasn't seen you, it's kind of hard to get on them stages. So Grady like vouched for me, like, yo, you need to see her, blah, blah, blah. So he definitely looked out. Who else would I say would be like my comedy OGs? Because I'm also not good at, I should utilize my resources more and my network more, but I'm not that good at that.
Yeah, right.
But there's a few people I can call, like Rodney Perry. I hit him one time, like, hey, da da da, and they're like, oh, is this X, Y, and Z? So,
right. Yeah. That's what's up. Well, is there any shout outs you want to give before we get out of here?
Any shout outs? I'd want to shout out all deaf women, because you know,
right. Shout out all deaf women.
I want to shout out Kev on Stage. Make sure y'all download his app. You know what I mean? Let's support Black entertainers, Black creatives. Also, my show is on there, so keep it as comedy is on there. You know, check that out.
Right.
Shout out to that's also my homie. He's been doing some great things, especially during the pandemic with the Zooming with the homies.
Right.
I've met so many new comedians and connected with so many people from doing Zooming, and so many people like that are my supporters, I like to call them, from that. So they're doing some really dope things right now. Yeah, that's all I can think of. Shout out to you for having me on this podcast. How about that?
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining me. You're welcome back anytime. If you ever dropping anything, and you know when you drop the mixtape, you know you got to come here first.
Oh yeah,
drop the exclusive date, little headband. You know what I'm saying? Volume 1.
Work out on these toes.
You know what I'm saying? For the streets. That's what's up. Hey, I appreciate you joining us today. So this is Keysha E, everybody. I'm Jerry and Blaze. That's the CLOUD Chronicles. At the end of the episode, I always like to say, take care of this. Mental health is real. Take care of this. It'll take care of you. Tell somebody you love them. Namaste. Drink some water. Peace. We out. CLOUD Chronicles. Namaste, bitches.
Are we out?
Almost.